Hello, so today I'm going to show you a PowerPoint I made for my school. I originally was going to present this on a school celebration where also the band played and that sort of stuff. And also visitors who are not from my school could come. I talked with the teachers responsible for this event and they were very fond of it at first. Yeah, but it got cancelled and I'm going to make another video about that. Just know that the reason is pretty stupid. So now I'm going to publish this presentation on YouTube for everyone to watch who is interested. Thank you very much for watching. The idea of Legends of Schönefeld was invented quite a while ago. We came up with Legends of Schönefeld in November of the year 2022, so it's been in development for a bit over a year now. And originally it was supposed to be a game about our school. This obviously not being a picture of our real school, but coming pretty close. It should just be a fun way to interact, but now it's become much more, and here's a bit of gameplay. It should look a bit different. So, what are the similarities between our school and the game? Well, in the original PowerPoint, we said that there weren't any, to be honest, except for a few, but there actually are quite a few. One of them would be the Kuriati coin. It's based on a teacher. He's very nice, and we asked if he could implement him in some way, and yeah, so he's implemented as the main currency in the game. Now the main currency in the game is the Kuriati coin. So if you've been looking at the gameplay, you may have been wondering what kind of game it is, and I'm going to tell you a bit about that right now. It's a Souls-like, which is one of my favorite game genres, and if you don't really know what that means, that's fine. It basically just means the game is hard and difficult, and it is a very challenging experience, and it also means that you can roll to dodge enemies. So what I think defines a Souls-like 2 is the ability to level up and unlock cool features and swords like this guy. I'm a big fan of Elden Ring. And it's also a role-playing game, so you kind of can choose your own role, but you play in a universe that is predefined for your path. So with the game being a role-playing game, I'm now going to tell you a bit about the role you play as. Legends of Schönefeld has very complicated lore, and we have been working on it for a very long time, and we actually plan to make a lore book so people on the school event could maybe take a look at the lore, but as it was cancelled, we just have like stuff laying around that no one can take a look at. Anyway, about the lore. It all begins with two entities flying through space, those entities being MME and Koppenberg. We are currently in the year 0 NLE, which is German for Nachlandung Eiffelturm, so after the landing of the Eiffel Tower on Earth, which is the main event that starts the entire lore. So before the Eiffel Tower landed, the world looked like this. Earth before the Eiffel Tower was just a barren landscape. No humans or any other species could survive there, but after the Eiffel Tower landed, the world transformed into a beautiful landscape with mountains and lush green grass everywhere. Also, green crystals began to flourish and grow out of the earth, which those green crystals are a main part of the Legends of Schönefeld lore. At this time, the first divine entity who landed on Earth with the Eiffel Tower, Koppenberg, went his own way, so he would go unnoticed by MME. In the year 3000, MME woke up. Through her divine power, about 40 years later, creatures evolved. The Polonists, they thought of MME as a goddess, so they built her a temple to worship her. But she was not pleased. She thought of the Polonists as simple and crude beings. She did not like them. So she used the power of the temple and summoned the French colors to kill the Polonists. This sparked a hatred in them towards MME. A few years later, a while after, or to be precise, in the year 442, the Second Age began with the creation of the Four. The Four consisted of Tyler, the god of sun and beauty. He was the embodiment of life and how it flourished. He was the most perfect of the four. Hyper, a man who only acted in the shadows. A puppeteer who controlled many events without anyone knowing. Guardian, the god of strength and sports. He invented things like soccer or football and ultimate frisbee, and at last, Walt. He was in a constant state of anger and jealousy towards the others. He always wanted to have Tyler's beauty, Hyper's control over the world, and Guardian's strength, but only many years later he learned to overcome his jealousy and anger. He was the god of thunder, lightning, dexterity, and anger. The four were created by MMA, but in the shadows many years later, MMA created a fifth one who was of the Shadow Realm, a being of pure anger and hatred, a demon from hell, a menacing coloss who had never lost a battle. Le Brute. Because MMA suspected the Four of betrayal, she sent Le Brute after them, and it came to a great battle. The Four lost and got banished into exile, every single one now being banished out of MMA's French Empire. 1 year later, with the creation of the first humans, the Third Age came around. The Third Age was an age of creation. Many things were discovered and made. In the year 1049, Hell was first discovered. Now demons could roam free in the mortal realm. 200 years later, the second layer of Hell was discovered. Not a lot is known about the second layer of Hell. What we know is that for mortals, it would be incomprehensible there. In the second layer, creatures known as wobblers find their way. Wobblers are soul fragments, and once an entity dies, its soul gets split into a few parts, and now reincarnated as a wobbler, it roams around the second layer of Hell. Rarely a strong soul enters Hell, and it will become a royal wobbler. They are bigger, stronger, and smarter. Over all this time, the first divine entity, Koppenberg, created his KPCs, Koppenberg's pocket creatures. Those creatures were either made or discovered by him. We have, for example, the Lagger or the Titan. The Titan would play an important role in the coming war. MMA wasn't too fond of them because they invaded her territory. Not because they would actually do that, but because she saw the entire world as her territory. So she tried to kill and banish all of them. It came to a big war known as the MMA Koppenberg War. Unfortunately, MMA won, and so it came to the Fourth Age, the Age of Terror. In this time, MMA ruled the world, and for all remaining humans, life was hard. Humans, being one of the first creations of Koppenberg, could either join MMA's French Empire or try to rebel. But for many years, trying to rebel would not yield any result, so most of humanity tried to flee in the south. The influence of the Eiffel Tower was weak in the south, so they changed. The humans in the south became known as students. They were smaller and smarter. But the humans closest to the Eiffel Tower, loyal to MMA, became known as the Frenchmen. They grew tall and developed a thick French accent over generations. Although MMA had enslaved most of the world at this point, there were still students that wouldn't bow down to her. She was angry that there were still few who would not serve her, so she built a giant conversion complex, also known as the Lycée. The Lycée was made to teach students the importance of serving MMA and the French Empire. And this is where the game plays. You are a student who tries to bring down the French Empire, and yeah, that is not all the lore. There is way more, and there is 5th and 6th age, but yeah, if anyone's interested in that, we can talk a bit about that on this channel, but yeah. Thank you very much for watching this far, and let me know if you have any questions in the comments. Yeah, bye bye.